picture before church out on Farrell Road. Farrell Road is west of here between Van Buren and Berry Road. And back in the 50s, early 60s, late 50s, there was no homes on that road. So we would take our cars down there and drag race. And unfortunately, Michael would show up with one of these big cars and he never won a race. Okay? And when I think back on it, I've had many cases come into my court where kids have kind of drag race and I've kind of been lenient on them because I did that. But another thing that we used to do with the cars in the winter, the Fredonia High School was on Chestnut Street, West Main, and if you came off of Chestnut to the back parking lot, the driveway went at a gradual decline down into the parking lot. So in the winter, there would be snow, and they hadn't plowed it. They didn't plow it like they do now. So we would take our cars. I would take my own car, but Hambone, Donnie Randaz, another buddy of ours, took his father's, I think he had a 56 or 57 Pontiac, blue. And Michael had the Buick, and we'd drive down into the parking lot, and when we get to the parking lot area, spin the steering wheel, and the car would spin around. Well, holy Christ. Michael's car, the tire rolled right off the rim. Michael had one tire off and Hambone had two. Rolled right off. So fortunately, my father owned the garage up the street here. So we jacked the cars up and fixed the tires. But Edgar found out about it because there was problems with the rim of the car. Of course, and Michael, I don't think ever told. Mike said, my dad questioned what was wrong with the car, and he said, he didn't know. But it was, there was, as I said, there's so many Michael stories. And if I'm not mistaken, when I was in the Army, when the Colonial Inn caught on fire, Michael was staying there at that time. Isn't that not correct, Larry? And Michael ran to the fire hall to report the fire. Now, the Colonial Inn, where the bank, right across the street here, this is White Street, and there's a gas station and a big house, and there's the bank. That's where the Colonial Inn was. It was an old hotel that had rooms in it. And back in the 60s, when I was gone, from 64 to 66, Michael was, I think, living there. Isn't that correct, Larry?
Yeah, I was in the area.
Oh, Larry was in the Army also, so
Yes.
Michael was there.
Yes, he did live there for a while.
Yeah, had a room upstairs, I think. But in all honesty, the only friends Michael didn't have were people that didn't know him. Thank you.